Addressing to allegations. So, what's the timeline here? YouTuber called Soul Bunny did a video called The Unbearable Whiteness of LeftTube or something along those lines. Got really fucking mad about Shark. I have on good authority that there were slurs used. There was the C word that you use for black people who are apparently race traitors. There was Uncle Ruckus. There was at least 20 or 30 minutes confirming the fact that a white woman wrote a cookbook about dumplings and noodles, which is huge. And now Shark is responding to the allegations. So, let's go. Let's see how Shark feels about the brutal fact that a white woman wrote a cookbook about dumplings and noodles. Go.
In an era of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Thank you, George Orwell. You're a good guy, Jack.
With the glass ceiling broken, all the oppressed groups shall prosper, especially the most oppressed group of all, gamers.
Hey guys, hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a little bit different than normal videos that we do here on the channel, mostly because what we have to talk about is a little different.
You know what? I've never actually watched Shark's content before. He's quite, he's a bit of an edgelord, isn't he? From that intro.
Than what we normally do on the channel, but that's just kind of how things are. For the last 2 weeks, basically, there's been a concerted effort to destroy my reputation, and that's just what I've been dealing with for about the last 10 days, and I wanted to go over it. I talked about this a little bit on stream, but I thought it'd be pretty good to talk about it here on the channel and make it its own segment so I don't have to bring it back to the stream and you guys are filled in on everything. I've seen some people talk about how they've heard little inklings about they've been listening to the grapevine, and it's been spewing whispers about a possible drama concerning me on the Bird app. Now, some of you may be worried. I know a lot of these videos are typically set up as a sort of like apology response video, but I am going to put the brakes on all of that and let you know that don't worry. I know for a fact I don't have anything to be sorry for. So this is going to be a video explaining everything. Enjoying my side of the story, since I know they don't. Is
he even going to acknowledge that a white woman wrote a cookbook about dumplings and noodles? Is he even going to acknowledge? Keep an eye out.
So this is for you and not them. I think they're bad people and don't deserve any clout or recognition or an apology from me at all. And so that's just going to be that. I want to hop into it because I don't want this video to be too long. There's some really interesting things in here that I think probably need like a little bit of an explanation, not necessarily because they needed an explanation to begin with, but because of after their basically 2 weeks of unfettered misinformation campaign that they're trying to do on me as a person. I think the lies that they've been trying to push need a little bit of an explanation, a little bit more context, since they're incredibly deceitful in the way that they're trying to go about things. That being said, I think they're pretty dumb, and I don't think a very smart person is going to be fooled by it, but somebody who doesn't know anything about me and may trust these people may believe them off the face. I just want to make these couple arguments here on this issue because I do think they're at least a little bit important. So where did this all start? Basically, this all started when a creator, I'm not going to be saying their name, but a creator released a video on LeftTube. They were very angry about me. They didn't like me and how I engaged in the space and for who and to who I talked to. I'm not mentioned very much in this video, but it's just for a split second, and I want to go over it a little bit.
Now to these important next clips.
It's real bad. You guys saying that she leaked the sects, which, by the way, I saw large content creators repeating the fact that she leaked the sects, which never happened. That did not ever happen. No sects.
This is funny because this was like the one period where Demon Mama came out against the Vosh crowd because of this was just after they debated about fucking bathtub LSD or whatever the fuck. Bathtub estrogen. What the fuck were they talking about? Bathtub whatever. Insulin. Insulin, that was it. So Demon Mama was like, for the one point when she was against Vosh, and now this clip's being used. That's really funny.
Were ever leaked by anyone. All that Cat Black ever did was say that the greatest extent that they ever engaged was to sext a few years ago. You guys have been spreading that lie all the fuck over the place. And honestly, that's fucking shit. Just fucking misinfo. And it is, I'm seeing it now, by the way, people perpetuating this. And this is how you start to build up a cancellation profile for someone who didn't even do the things you're accusing of them.
First of all, F you, Shark, for being another black man complicit in some racist transphobic bull against a black trans woman. You're really giving leftist Candace Owens vibes. You were
oh my god! This video was so shit. Oh my god, this was such a horrible fucking video. First of all, F you, Jesus Christ. Against that black... What if the black trans woman was in the wrong? I don't even remember. Didn't she say some shit about Vosh's dick? Probably a bit weird. Yeah.
Mask off with your bad faith attacks on Cat Black. Shark was the first content creator to push this misinformation that debate bros till this day still latch onto. The hordes of racist white queer people that ran with this to attempt to silence Cat and anyone calling out the bold transmisogynoir. Shark gained a lot of clout and profited off of the attacks. Black trans people don't have to accept contradictory allyship from cis black men, throwing black trans people to the wolves that are debate bros. Cat wasn't the first or the last trans person he's gone after. The clout and access he gained after strategically going after Professor Flowers was the first time I sensed cool vibes from him. At the moment, he lacks any contrition for the hate.
Oh my god, it's all coming back. Because of Professor Flowers, bro. Oh god. How many times have we had to... I feel like I don't even know who's gaslighting me anymore on the Professor Flowers thing. But I feel like I always have to check that she said what she said, right? That she said that she was okay with fucking white people being deported or whatever. I would, but I think also that... Because she was kind of... It was so weird. Like, there's like a sense of fucking pride that just like gets in the way of so much... Like, she could have just said like, yeah, people... If that's someone's impression of land back, that's stupid. But she has to be like, no, I'm actually okay with that. But just that's not actually what land back is about. And I'm like, oh god. Let me see. Was it? Was it this?
And black people in that way, for good reason, because it's unhelpful and it's racist.
Just those two things. I'm okay with people deporting people who have colonized them in the context of colonialism. I'm okay with people who are colonized being like, we need to get rid of the people who have colonized us.
Yeah. So, right.
Yeah.
See, that's fucking insane. I'm like, again, the people who have colonized us, which again, as far as like someone like Professor Flowers would go, is like, when they say colonized, they don't mean went over there with a fucking gun and shot some people and took their land. They mean like the 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th generation like descendant of those people, right? Who still live there and maybe still enjoy some fucking systemic privileges or whatever that could be alleviated through policy without deporting them. Why the fuck does deporting them help you? Again, this is a very different message from your whole Nelson Mandela peace, reconciliation, nation building, because people would think that's like, people who are far left enough today would say that's cucked, right? Nelson Mandela, massive cuck. Peace, reconciliation, nation building? Nah, mate. Evictions, executions, and expulsions. That apparently would have been better to fight for, you know? Jesus Christ. Like, it's so... Sorry. But I guess opposing that opinion makes me anti-black, so okay, whatever.
Push. I don't have time to deal with Uncle Ruckus Jr. when my black and brown trans siblings are lacking resources, support, dying, and being murdered.
Okay, super interesting, right? Let's go into it. Now, I don't remember literally everything from the debacle with Cat Black. I made a little video recording my personal feelings on the issue when it happened because I was in chat when it was like kind of all going down. I don't remember all of the details, and the timeline is a little important for some things, not important for what I think I'm going to be talking about here, and not important for what I talked about, little tweet thread that I made talking about some of the issues. And I want to go over that and read it now because this person didn't read it. I'm not sure if there was she, but they definitely showed it. I said, in the video they posted as Demon Mama was talking about how people were lying about Cat Black leaking sex, they showed my tweet thread where I said, no matter what you think of Vosh, what Cat did the other day was 100% sexual harassment, and I think it's plain gross. I always speak highly of Cat, especially in her talks about sex and consent, which makes this even more sad. Revealing intimate conversations and publicly trying to demean and humiliate someone about their genitals is so nasty and manipulative, it genuinely shocks me someone took it with such nonchalance. If I had a falling out...
Is it... okay, again, like, I'm not like too unfriendly. Yeah, I still feel like I'm on reasonably good terms with most of the Vosh community. It's only a couple of fucking shitheads, but they do like to use the most extreme language for all these things, right? I don't think it's like, again, I always took the position that what Cat Black did was like worse than what Vosh did, but it's not is it sexual harassment? Is that what that is? Is it not just like a kind of gross thing to do, but like, would it really reach the level of sexual harassment to say that, oh, I sexted you and your dick was mid? If we're gonna broaden the definition, but I just think it's a really shitty thing to do. I don't know if it's quite sexual harassment. Like, Vosh considers it sexual. Well, in the eyes of the victim, you would say it is. What if someone leaks details of sexting? Like, what if someone like screenshot? What if like you sext someone and maybe someone says or does something embarrassing, and you tell other people about it? Is that sexual harassment? Because I'm not gonna lie, guys. You know how like the badly kept secret about flirting and sexting is that it's all cringe. All of it is cringe. Everyone fumbles sometimes and they say some dumb shit, or they send a dumb, like a picture that looks like it's supposed to be like a fucking thirst trap, but it looks stupid or whatever. Like, and that's kind of why it's a pretty big faux pas to like exchange information about that stuff with other people if you respect the person and whatever. But is it always sexual harassment to do that? If he called her genital, so no, the thing is that if we reverse the roles, Squad W. If she said, "Oh, you're a bit of a chaser for like black women and whatever," and then Vosh was like, "Yeah, well, what's going on between your legs, man? I ain't looking too great, Dad." Yeah, then his career would be dead, right? Everyone would realize that for what it is. It'd be like everyone would know that what Vosh said was worse, right? But because the roles are reversed, people get more muddy about it and shit. But I don't know if you need to use the like language of sexual harassment. I don't know. Who knows? It's either way.
With a female streamer, and I talked about how we sent lewd texts and she had weird tits just apropos of nothing. I hope you all would tear me apart for that. It's so childish, weird, and sexual harassment. And I'm going to tell you now, I stand by this tweet 100%. This is a very good tweet thread, and I'm actually pretty shocked that I was so poignant and careful with my language here, because it actually does matter. Kat and Vosh were having like a back and forth. I think Kat was in the wrong in this situation, just off the cuff, because what I remember, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but what I remember is that they were having a bit of a falling out. Kat said that they were talking a lot in DMs, and she said that Vosh wasn't open to listening to her at all. I feel like if they were having this conversation in private and Vosh going to her and talking to her about the issues that he was having with some things in the space, some issues related to identity, and they were having that discussion in private, I don't think Kat was really caring to listen to him at all, which is fine and completely within her right to not do. She doesn't have to. She doesn't owed him any conversation at all. I just think that it's weird to proposition yourself as somebody who wasn't listened to at all, or not respected, when in the conversation itself it showed that you were not caring about what he had to say at all and didn't care to provide any information or work with him at all in this conversation. I just don't know what the point of talking to each other would be at all. And it seemed like he trusted her because they shared some intimacy together. After this, I'm pretty sure what happened is that somebody in Vosh's chat said that you may not be her type because they were having like a little bit of a back and forth. I think there's a little bit of misogyny in there. If I remember correctly, Vosh was like, I'm pretty sure she's into white guys. I do believe that what Vosh said was wrong, and I think a reasonable person could categorize it as sexual harassment as well. I believe what he said almost verbatim was that he thinks that she fetishizes white guys.
Okay. The jury's out on the fucking your dick is mid thing. But my God. Saying that she was like a chaser for white guys is not sexual harassment. You could still say it's a bit shitty, but it's not sexual harassment. Jesus Christ. Everyone loves to broaden these definitions. It's so cringe.
That's wrong. I won't add any more qualification there. Obviously, what he said made her feel a certain type of way, and I don't think that's necessarily wrong. If he didn't want her to come back at him, obviously he shouldn't have said anything. Kat then went on to talk about how they sexted before.
Woke scoldy black chicks are into white dudes is maybe uncouth. Yeah, it's I mean, it could be misogynistic, like barely. It could be misogynoir, unironically. But I don't think I like, even as someone who still kind of likes Vosh, like I don't think I would be going down the road of like defending his behavior when it comes to women. Like I feel like he has his moments when it comes to women, but yeah, like still it doesn't compare to the dick thing. Jesus.
Or in the past, years ago or something, how they sent sexual text messages, how they were like sexting or trying to get each other to fucking nut or something. I don't know necessarily in DMs. I don't use Twitter necessarily as a dating app, or at least I try not to. But as far as I remember, that's what happened. And then after that, she then went on to talk to some people in her community or whatever about how Vosh is weird. He has like an ugly, weird, small dick or something along those lines. Whoa. And that's the part that I really had a massive issue with. Having somebody reveal something to you privately, like their genitals or something that is supposed to be a confidential situation, and then you just use it specifically to body shame them in that moment. I think that's pretty crazy. And I still stand by my hypothetical at the end of the tweet thread to kind of like bring it home to people who may not be on the same page as me, that if I were to have a falling out with like a female content creator and they were talking and somebody in their chat said, maybe you two are not getting along because you're not his type. And then she was like, I'm pretty sure she's into, insert in identity girl here. And then I came back with talking about how we used to sex and she sent me titty pics. And then I said that she had weird tits. I would hope that you all would tear me out for that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
This is the problem with people saying that if it's only bigotry or like sexism or racism, if it's if you have the systemic power, is it means in interpersonal situations, it means that someone who can claim some kind of minority status, in which like for Cat Black it's like black and woman, you can absolutely just act with total fucking impunity, right? That's what the consequence of saying that it has to be prejudice plus power. Because if you're in a group that doesn't have the power, you just get to do whatever the fuck you want. And that's dumb.
Is it not? Am I just am I an insane person here for thinking that's crazy? Because I think that's crazy. And I never said that she leaked text. I never said that she leaked text. That's a very clear thing. That's a very specific thing. And I didn't say that she did that. I very clearly said that she revealed that they had intimate conversations, which she did. I could say she talked about how they had intimate conversations. I still respect and I like Kat. I'm still subscribed to her and I still watch her content. I don't think that she's a bad person. Sweet. I think good people can make bad decisions and I think good people can do some incorrect things. I think Vosh has done bad things and we'll talk about that here in a moment. Yeah. But I think Kat has done bad things here and I think it very clearly is sexual harassment. I consider like other content creators and everything coworkers here to some degree. And I think doing something like that is sexual harassment. I think it is pretty fucked up. If I said
coworkers, fuck off. Right, nemesis. That's what you guys are. Not you guys, content creators. Anyway. Yeah, Shark's just like, he's a pretty generally inoffensive guy, isn't he? I don't think I've ever really seen him go down the massive fucking edge route or whatever else. I guess like the treatment of Shark goes to show you that you can literally do like nothing wrong. You can be so fucking nice to everyone and so generous and so like good faith, and just the right constellation of fucking bullshit will get you into the public enemy fucking label, and then you're done, right? Like, and then everything you do after that becomes like proof of whatever they believed already.
I did like it once again. If I did something like that to a woman content creator or a man content creator, like gender doesn't even necessarily matter here, but like you can put the shoe on the other foot, swap the roles type thing. People typically respond better to that. I don't think it's good, but it happens. But yeah, if I did this to a man, I still think it'd be pretty messed up. The bro showed me his taint and it's like dimpled like chicken skin. he's so gross. Lamau, what an idiot, dumbass. I think it'd be pretty messed up. I don't think that you should do that. And I don't think I'm in the wrong here for calling Kat out on this. I'm pretty sure I even also, she didn't play me talking about Vosh, but which is also really interesting. And all of these sorts of things, what you're going to see is that they play me talking about Black people or some other types of people or some other groups, but they never play me criticizing the people who they say I'm always peddling for. I also really want to put this idea of my mistreatment of Professor Flowers to rest, because in my original video that I released about her discussion with Vosh, I really feel like I was incredibly fair and kind to her in that discussion. I'm not going to be rehashing and relitigating everything that I said in that video, because I think that video stands by itself, and I really think that I made all of the points that I needed to. That on top of the fact that, like, I don't remember every single detail of those discussions because it just happened so long ago now. But I want to talk about this because I think, like, normal, rational people could possibly be lied to about my possible treatment of Professor Flowers, and I just think that's unfortunate because I really think I was pretty good in my analysis. So since I'm blocked by Professor Flowers now, and I'm pretty sure we block each other, I'm going to do something that I don't typically do, but I feel like it's going to be important in this situation because all of these people keep wanting to lie about this, and I just feel like at this point, I don't have any other...
Have the Young Turks gotten involved in this drama? I doubt it. This is way beyond their area, right? Do they pay attention to this stuff? I have no idea. Hefty has a video talking to Soul Bunny about trans massage noir. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, well.
The reason not to show this. So I'm going to be, unlike what I said to Cat Black, I am going to be leaking DMs, my DMs with Professor Flowers, because we did actually talk a little bit. And this is why I think that I treated her pretty well, because I believe that she thought that I treated her so well, in fact, that she believed that I was worth having even a little bit of a correspondence with. So here is my correspondence with Professor Flowers. On September 25th, 2021, holy crap, it's been so long. But she reached out to me after my video and said, "Hi, I saw your video about my debate with Vosh. I just wanted you to know that Vosh and I agreed on an entirely different topic than in anti-capitalist violence and separatism. I was completely unprepared for this topic, and I think debating colonialism is wrong. And this is a subject that needs to be listened to and understood, not argued. It's really frustrating that people are critiquing me as if I was ready to have these conversations at all. I'm making a follow-up video that you can keep an eye out for. If you find me insufferable, then at least it's for what I actually believe and intended to say." And I think this is genuinely a pretty good response by Professor.
I saw you made a debate in a video in my debate with Vosh. I just want to say that Vosh and I agreed to debate an entirely different topic than anti-colonialist violence and separatism. I was completely unprepared for the topics. Oh, I think debating colonialism is wrong and a subject that needs to be listened to and understood, not argued. Oh, God. Oh, God, it's so cringe. Oh, God. What are you doing? Why not? Just fuck. Oh, my God. It's really frustrating that people are critiquing me as if I was ready to have these conversations at all. I'm making a follow-up video that you can keep an eye out for. If you all find me insufferable, then at least is what I actually believe and intend to say. I'm always up for what people have to say. My honesty in these situations, platform is Talk with Sunday. She spoke with Sunday? I didn't know she spoke with Sunday. Interesting.
Professor Flowers, and I thought it was incredibly kind, and I really appreciated it. I appreciated it so much in the moment I hearted it, because I didn't have any ill will towards Professor Flowers, and I still really don't. And so here was my response. So here's my response about a day later. I'm always up for what people have to say. My honesty in these situations is why I have the platform to begin with. So if you make it, I will watch it. This was my promise to Professor Flowers, that after I watched her debate with Vosh, that I would watch her follow-up video to make sure that I understood exactly
this sequence of events is
because I did
exhausting.
care about what she had to say.
Whoa.
I've heard what she has to say now, but before I was very open to it, and I let her know that. And I did actually watch that video. I didn't really like it, but once again, I knew what she actually thought. And we could just have that disagreement there. And I thought that was a good thing. Later, I also came back and said, also, your talk with President Sunday gave me more insight into how you thought. And I think it was great to hear you expand on some of your ideas. While I don't agree with all of them, It's hard to hate someone who, at the very least, shares my goals in bettering the world. And that was the last thing I said to Professor Flowers before she blocked me. I don't think I ever really talked about Professor Flowers after this, or in a way that like expanded.
She's not wrong if she means more people should understand colonialism. No, that's not what she said, though. She said it shouldn't be debated. We should just listen to fuck off. If someone says some dumb shit like I'm okay with them deporting the people who have colonized them, and by the people who have colonized them, I mean like the entire fucking ancestry of the original colonizers. People should argue with you. You're asking for an argument, you dumb fuck. Or if you don't want to be argued with that opinion, don't say it on the internet. Offer to have a lecture somewhere where people can't respond to what you're saying, and where the only people who are going to attend are going to just fucking nod along and listen, right? Or disagree quietly.
On my opinions of her or her ideals than this. This was basically it. I didn't have any other things to say about Professor Flowers. I still don't really have anything more to say about Professor Flowers. I just don't. It just doesn't seem. I just feel like it's very strange to say that I was like incredibly uncharitable to her when this is the type of charity that I was giving to her. I didn't make any promises about anything. All I said that I will listen to what you have to say. I will internalize it. I'll think about it. I hope that we come to an understanding. That's basically it. That's all you really can do in these situations. I'm not just going to believe whatever she says. I'm not just going to turn my brain off and let just random people put like whatever they want in my head. Not every black person is good on black issues. Not every black person is great on indigenous issues. Not every trans person is great on trans issues. Not every woman is great on woman issues. Just because you're of a certain identity does not mean that you're worth listening to on those issues for making the world a better place for that group of people. It's just not true. If that was the case, then I would listen to Candace Owens on black issues, and we all know that's something you shouldn't do. To wrap up this like Professor Flowers thing, and I hope this is the last time I ever talk about it, I just find it so weird that all of these people come for like me and other people in the space that disagreed with Professor Flowers, when even in this DM, she told me she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. She just wasn't ready for it. She couldn't defend her arguments clearly and succinctly. And I think that's why she felt like the debate was bad.
What was the topic of the debate supposed to be then? It wasn't about separatism then? Or what the fuck was it about?
Literally said that almost verbatim. So I don't know why you're coming at me by saying that I think that she poorly articulated her points, when she very clearly believes that she poorly articulated her points in her debate with Vosh, and in this DM that she sent to me that she thought she wanted me to read because she thought that she like respected my opinion in some way or wanted me to think differently of her in some way. And I just think that's weird that you're going to come for me now when this is actually genuinely what she believed about her own debate performance. This isn't me. I didn't do anything. I'm just literally stating exactly what she believes about her own arguments. But on that note, onto the indigenous thing, because a lot of these people are trying to use this to try and say that like me and other people in this space are like anti-indigenous or land back or something, when actual indigenous people came out against Professor Flowers' arguments and said that they were harmful, wrong, and she shouldn't be talking about them in this way. And if that's not more of an indictment on her arguments, then I don't know what else is than the actual people coming out and saying that those arguments were bad and harmful. Aren't those supposed to be the people who you said that you should be listening to? Isn't Professor Flowers here the person who should be like sitting down and listening to the indigenous people? But instead of that, all of these people just keep harping on about how we're the bad guys and we're the bad ones, when I'm agreeing with almost every single indigenous person I've heard chime in on this issue. Period. I have indigenous people in my audience, and I actually consulted them before I made my video. If you think I gave coon vibes by disagreeing with Professor Flowers, then congratulations, you think indigenous people give off coon vibes by disagreeing with Professor Flowers as well. And I think that's very stupid. Sad. I do also want to say that it's super funny that they are going on and on about how they don't want to go back and forth with any of these bigots. I'm a bigot, apparently. I get all the notifications when you reply back to them. She's like, I want the harassment to die down, as they're actively pushing harassment against me. Listen, calmness for me, but not for thee. You deserve all the harassment. You deserve the threats and everything, but not me. Not me. I'm the good boy here. Another example of her pushing people to literally harass me, but you know, whatever, I guess. Shark3ozero. They didn't even put the dot in front so it wouldn't end up as a reply. So basically nobody saw this tweet, which is super funny. But anyways, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I don't simply not like you. I don't like the way you move. She hates the way I move. I don't know what that means and I don't really care either. Using some of the same tactics as Candace Owens to uphold the white status quo, reducing pushing lies and misinformation on Cat Black.
Isn't it so funny thinking about the dispute between DeSantis and Trump and the Democrats? To think that in an American context, people like Shark are further left than like the most left Democrat fucking congressperson. People like Shark who are further left probably than like 99% of Democrat voters. That's where the Overton window is, but you come online and it's Candace Owens tactics. Holy shit. This is the problem when you say that the issues you care about are not to be debated. Is you end up thinking like you have any kind of fucking stake or any kind of fucking, I don't even know, like you hold any ground in the discussion, that you're not just like you pissing against the wind against the public that would just never, that just doesn't like have any inclination to believe what you're saying. Oh God. I feel like if you want these ideas to spread, you need to work pretty fucking hard because these are insanely niche, like minority opinions. Like Professor Flowers saying that she's okay with deporting all the colonizers and shit. Fucking hell.
Into drama. It's strategic trans misogynoir for your own clout profit gain. I also want to mention that whoever those two content creators who talk to you aren't black trans people who have more sorry, wait. What? This is my first time reading the second tweet. I read the first tweet and I didn't give a shit. I haven't read the second tweet yet. I also want to mention that whoever those two content creators who talk to you aren't black trans people who have some reason to be angered with your coonery against black trans figures, kelp or whatever you need blood. So here's the thing. I think I talked to just one person on stream and he wasn't black. He called in to ask if I was okay, actually, because he saw all the harassment that I was getting. I'm fine, just so you know. You don't need to reach out to me and ask if I'm okay. I am okay. I'm fine. I promise. This is the first time that I've been engaged in this type of stuff. But this isn't the first time that I've dealt with any of these types of creatures, insects, as I would like to call them, by the way that they act. So it didn't really necessarily have anything to do with having them come on to prove that I'm right. They asked to come on to ask if I was okay because they're good people and they saw that I was being harassed. And I'm a pretty quiet person and I don't even talk necessarily about how everything makes me feel. And I haven't talked about how everything makes me feel. And I may not even necessarily in this video talk about how everything makes me feel. We'll see by the time we get to the end, right? Whenever that will be, because I don't know necessarily how long this video will be, but I'll try and cover everything that I can as concisely as I possibly can. Calling me something like Candace Owens is just simply ridiculous and low IQ. I'm nothing like Candace Owens. And I even think that is disrespectful to black people who have come under fire from people like Candace Owens or people like Dave Rubin, because the way in which they act and how they uphold white supremacy is far different than my insults to certain people. It is just far different in every way, shape, or form. I actually think about how some things that I say could possibly be used against some black people. We'll talk about that in a moment, but you guys don't, and you don't care. Never have, never will. And I find it hard to care about what you have to say when you don't keep yourself up to the same exact standards as you would try to hold me to. I'm not like Uncle Ruckus. I've never watched Boondocks, mostly because I hate black people. No, I don't really watch TV. So I don't really know necessarily about Uncle Ruckus. I don't watch slave movies either. Those are for white people. Once again, we'll talk about that in a moment. So I'm not like 100% privy to literally every reference they're trying to call me, but I just think it's ridiculous. On the Candace Owens one, I'm very sure of. I'm nothing like Candace Owens. I'm not even using the same tactics as Candace Owens. Candace Owens is very clear and very hateful and very bigoted. I'm nothing like Candace Owens. Sorry. And if I am, that says more about how you don't understand who Candace Owens is or who any of these anti-black people are more than it says anything about me. All of this says more about you than ever will about me, ever. Sorry. And I also find
the thing is, when I see people like fucking Soul Bunny or even FD Signifier with the shit he comes out with, it's not really them I have a problem with, because you know, you want to give your opinion on the internet, that's fine. But fuck, like the fact that so many people like support this shit, you know, like they think these are good opinions. They think these are good arguments and like fucking valid takes and shit. Like, what the fuck? half of that video was because a white woman made a cookbook about dumplings and noodles. And people are sitting there like, and maybe half of the viewers, I think, I don't know. When I see creators like this do really well with their, or like, no, they're not even doing that well. Soul Money is not doing that well. But when yeah, I think there's probably, if you're like a black far left creator, like a fucking black Marxist creator, whatever the fuck, you probably do have a pretty strong advantage in the fact that you can just rely so hard on like middle class white leftists who will just listen to you because they think they're doing their bit by listening to marginalized voices. It doesn't matter the fact that you're a marginalized voice who is basically saying all the things that they already agree with, or that your opinions are not really representative of the majority or anywhere near the majority of minority voices definitely not in America, right? Because in America, fucking black voters chose Biden over Bernie. In America, black people are, on average, I think, more socially conservative than white people, at least on the liberal side. So, it's like with fucking like FD Signifier talking about like how he's judging all the black people who watch Destiny and shit like that. But I'm like, mate, do you think like the average black American is more aligned with the like sort of liberal side of the Democrats, like Biden or someone like that, or are they more aligned with you, like talking about fucking J.K. Rowling and shit, like, or how conservatives are bad at sex? Like, what the? Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Wonder who has more black viewers between Dustin and FD? No idea. No idea. Most people are bad at sex. I'm not gonna. I don't know if that's true. I can imagine a lot of men being bad at sex, but I guess like, don't know. I think I've been pretty lucky when it comes to women. Like, I don't know. I don't think I've met that many women who are bad at sex. I mean, they exist, but yeah.
Super interesting. Every single one of these types of people who like to say that they hate that they hate drama, they don't want to.
Sorry, I will say, I don't know. There's no fucking evidence. I don't think I've looked at survey data for this. I don't think there's any evidence that conservatives have worse sex lives than liberals. If anything, I saw one survey that said the opposite. That conservative men and women both report having better sex lives than liberal men and women. But I don't know. There's just something about the gist of this video that is like, it gives me like male feminist vibes, you know? Like, hey lady, want to try some left-wing politics? We'll make you come on the left. Like, oh god, we're not like the other guy. It's so weird. I don't know. I don't like it. All right, let's see this. There's a certain skill to satisfy a woman that my conservative contemporaries just seem to be underdeveloped and lacking. There's a certain skill. Did I say that already? This is for a different day, isn't it? Nice one. On the left, we know where the clitoris is. God, shit, yeah. It's so weird. I think it's so creepy. Like, ugh. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I feel like if you're having to sell your fucking ideology and the fact that you're better at boning, it's just so, it's so weird.
To be in drama. Literally every single last one of them only engage in drama, or like mostly drama, or love drama. They love drama, and then they go on, and so they drop a drama video after a drama video.
What? Why are you fucking screaming about psychodynamic? Hey, what's your problem? You're one of them, aren't you? You're one of those. You think that the more progressive you are, the more orgasms you have. That's what you think. I know. I can see. Say it. Tell me I'm wrong.
After drama video after a drama video, and then they'll see how well the drama video does, and then they'll take a screen.
Oh, you don't. Nice one. Nice one.
screenshot and then upload how well this video did compared to their last videos that weren't about drama. And then they'll be like, I can't believe the world is so cruel like this. And then they'll drop another drama video. I drop some drama videos every now and again. I'm not going to lie to you. I would hope that we could learn something from it, but I don't go here and I can't believe there's so much drama when all these people do is make drama.
The best sex I've had was with a literal neo-Nazi. Bro, the fuck? Holy shit. That's a lie, yeah? Oh my god.
This person who's like been criticizing me this whole time, this specific person.
Well, with the, hi, I'm a new viewer. Your essays are really well made. I wanted to ask, would you consider making a video essay on the woke mind virus? Or, hi, I'm a new viewer. Your video's well made. I wanted to ask, would you consider making an essay on the woke mind virus? Or wokeness has gone too far? And I don't know. Probably not. I can probably, like, I talk about things that are adjacent to that. Like the bike Karen thing was a little bit like, kind of like a reverse wokeism. I don't even know what the fuck. I think I've only hooked up with a couple of conservatives in my life, but you know what it's like? You know what it's like boning a conservative person? Tell you a secret, guys. It's exactly the same as fucking a left-wing person. Some people are good, some people are bad. It is what it is. Like, there's a really weird... I think once you get into this territory, that you think someone's political persuasions are an indication of how good or bad a person they are. Maybe if they're like a Nazi or a fucking like tanky, that usually is more likely that they're going to be a bad person. Probably fair to say that. But generally, between the left and the right, and the center left and the center right in the middle, I don't think your political persuasion predicts how decent you are to your friends, how good you are to your family, how good you are in your community, how smart you are. Maybe a little bit how smart, maybe like how educated you are might be more progressive, but how good you are at sex? Nah, I don't think. Like, from my experience anyway, you can have the most awesome, empathetic, fucking progressive opinions and just be the world's most enormous cunt. Like, and you can have very unempathetic, bootstraps, fucking Christian conservative opinions and be a pretty chill person, even to minorities, although that's maybe less likely. Fuck. Yeah, was it? Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Jesus.
Their entire channel is simply drama. It's only drama. That's it. That's it. Their whole channel is simply just trying to attack other creators. And I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to attack other creators who deserve it. I'm just saying that I just think it's really ridiculous how they're really up into the I hate drama crowd, drama bad crowd, when at the end of the day, they love drama.
True.
They enjoy drama. They imbibe in it. That's all they ever talk about or do. That's kind of how it is. Sorry. This person holds themselves up as some sort of steward, some bulwark, some sort of incredible person who's here to change things, who's beating the heck out of the racist white queer community when they're just harassing people at the end of the day, honestly. But hey, listen, it's whatever. And if they're going to come at me for my connections, I feel like that it would be a great opportunity to highlight connections. I think connections are interesting, so interesting. Everybody has so many connections with so many curious types of people, really. And I think this person has some very curious connections indeed, from what I've seen. They're going to say my connection with Vosh is like the big problem with why they dislike me. I'm not very connected with Vosh at all. We have some overlap in our communities. I have a lot of people who don't like Vosh in my community. If I mention him, I get a lot of people who
Could you respond to the question I asked? Oh, God. Chat, you guys are barbarians. All right, what's up with Shark3ozero? I saw his channel on Reddit 4 years ago and subbed to him, then unsubbed. Think he's just a streamer? Just a left-wing streamer?
like, don't end up like him, don't be like him. I like you because you're pretty different from him. There's reasons to dislike everybody, so it's just whatever. At the end of the day, I think this whole thing with connections is going to be very curious because I don't think this person has very good connections themselves. So bad, in fact, that I think a lot of you all may actually find the connections that they have to be very worrisome, curious, and also questionable, especially with some of the things that these people are engaged in. Do you guys remember Eden? The video that I made on Eden, the Saudi Arabian trans woman who was kidnapped from America human trafficked back to Saudi Arabia and forced to detransition, which ultimately led to her end. Do you all remember that?
Yeah.
Well, something that I haven't talked about too much, because I didn't want the video in which we talked about her to be consumed by them and their debauchery, was get this freaking chair out of here, man. Get the heckin' chair out of here, man. I'm talking. One thing that I didn't talk about is how there's not only a group of people who loved and respected and was cherishing her life and respecting it. There's also a group of people who are very loud and very gross, who spend their time trying to attack people who are her friends, and who do remember her fondly. And it is wildly disgusting to see. And these people who are coming after me are connected with. Specifically, I thought it was very curious how she was found palling around with this person in particular. Let's just call them SG for now. This SG person engaged with this on this platform. And this tweet is, I don't understand how Parker could let Eden get taken like this. This tweet is in response to the SG saying that Parker, which is Eden's partner or ex-partner now, the person who was romantically involved with Eden, they're spending their time harassing this person whose trans partner was killed by the brutal anti-trans government of Saudi Arabia. This is just genuinely sick, and it makes me sick. And they're connected to even another person who's kind of the big cheerleader in this. This person who I'm not even going to show you on stream, but if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. Jay. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Name starts with J. These people who are connected to this person, they're following, they're having a good time with, they have connections with, they talk to. These people have the sun emoji that I talked about in the video that we made about Eden, as well as a cigarette. And if you know what that means, you'll know how gross that is. How absolutely disgusting.
Okay, I'm lost. He's not presenting this well. Fucking hell, Shah. What's happening? What's the sun? Is the cigarette the F slur? Is that what that is? The British thing? I'm having a smoke. Okay, Jesus.
That is, but I'll explain it for you. Basically, what it means is it means to smoke one, new pack in the air. It means someone died. Your opposition, someone who you don't like died. New op pack in the air is a way to say it, typically with a cigar. Also can be known as smoke a British cigarette, but here in the States, that F word would have a different meaning.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Another big content creator does this, actually. It's his calling card, an account 100% dedicated to celebrating when trans people die, whether it be by suicide or murder or anything. That's his calling card. He loves to do that too, where anytime a trans person suffers, is abused, assaulted, harassed, killed, they love to post that, especially when they don't like them. I don't like any of these people, but you won't catch me ever celebrating or being friends with people who celebrate murder of brown trans women. Here's another person they're connected with, quote tweeting Solera back when she was around. Okay, so post your selfies on the Kiwi site. What they're talking about is Kiwi Farms, a forum dedicated to harassing people. Unless one of our 20 mutuals can talk you down from gleefully using your cis reppy guys to harass other trans people through a block. How about that? I know this community isn't so small that someone can't start a conversation, or maybe the Kiwi site can help me start one. This is them actively saying that they would like to use Kiwi Farms, a place dedicated to finding and harassing and tap dancing on the graves of trans people, to attack a trans person that they don't like, that they have a disagreement with. That, everyone, is insane. Kira chats. Now, a lot of you may not know.
What?
Everyone is insane. Kira chat.
Kira chat, okay.
Now, A lot of you may not know who this Kira Chats person is. They were formerly known as Bad Bunny, but they rebranded due to old issues that they don't want to bring back up. We'll talk about it here because it's important. Because if she wants to get mad, because if this person wants to get mad at me for my connections, let's talk about some of theirs. This Kira Chats person, they used to go by Bad Bunny specifically, and Bad Bunny was known as a pretty bad person, actually. Something that happened to them before. You may remember them as the $5 a month girl. I know Moist Critical Charlie made a video about her. Like, I think it's called
Guys, on a completely unrelated note, it's only $5 to subscribe to my Twitch channel, you fucking idiots. Look at all these unsubbed. $5. $5. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Be a streamer ever. It went popular. It went super mega viral of her going $5 a month, right? That thing. I thought that it was just like a joke within the community. I didn't think that she deserved all that like hate thrown at her for that, but it happens. And just if you want to know who that was, you've probably seen that. That's who this person is. Something that's a little lesser known about her though is what she was engaged in.
Hey, Dr. Z with the 10 gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you so much. How does that help Black liberation? Listen, it doesn't, okay? Psychodynamic wants a gifted sub, I see, okay.
In a couple years ago. Actually, in some cases, not even a couple years ago. Sometimes.
Miss Mortician with a gifted tier 1 sub, thank you very much.
About a year ago.
I, for one, would never be involved with a guy who's bisexual. Well, witch doctor, shut the fuck up! I couldn't do it. There might be exceptions, obviously. When I say I wouldn't be attracted or I'm not attracted, obviously, if it's like, obviously there could be exceptions, all you super literal nerds out there, but like, I don't like, if a guy's just like having sex with other guys, and then he's like, oh, maybe I'll try having sex with you. I'm like, even black people, if you found me a black bisexual man, I might throw up in my mouth. You can't hate gay people anymore?
Oh my God.
Why not? I want to hate whoever the fuck I want to hate. I want to hate a person because they're wearing Crocs. Why can't I hate a person because of whatever else trivial? If that reason is trivial, if I can hate a person for wearing Crocs, that's an incredibly trivial reason, and then people can harp on me about how stupid it is for me to hate an entire person because of the Crocs they wear. But you see me, I will hate the fuck out of that Croc wearing.
She then went on to have a whole.
Ooh. Oh my God, actual queen. Someone didn't explain to her prejudice plus power with that judgment. Maruzzi, thanks for the gifted tier 1 sub to Psychodynamic. I'm sure she really appreciates that. Thank you.
Conversation and to defend literally all of her points and says she refuses to date a black person, period, with Destiny. Stephen Kenneth Destiny Bennell II. It was so bad, in fact, that like even in that discussion, no matter, like I know a lot of these people think Destiny is crazy racist. And if she came out of this discussion with Destiny looking that bad, what does that make her? Right? My dogs. And another person who this person's coming after me follows, enjoys, likes, and is always around them in their comment section. Here's what they had to say about Eden as well. Once again, let me remind you, a trans woman who was forcefully detransitioned, taken from her home, kidnapped, lied to, human trafficking.
I don't get this. Why were progressive people putting sun and cigarette emojis for the trans girl who was kidnapped and detransitioned in Saudi Arabia? Why? Is it just because of this say her name thing? Why are people celebrating that? Why? I don't get that. What's the connection? Why? Why are progressive people celebrating Eden's death? What the fuck?
Trafficked and killed by the Saudi Arabian government. Here's what they had to say about her. White trans spaces claim to
you're explaining what happened. Why? Is it okay? Wait.
Adopted the sun emoji to mourn the death of Eden Knight, who took her own life due to the persistent bigotry of her own parents. But this is not why these folks have adopted the sun emoji for this. They adopted the emoji as a subtle way to launder their hatred for a single black trans woman for the crime of criticizing her for her racist behavior. Being called out for being racist has nothing to do with Eden's transphobic, hateful parents bullying her to death.
What the fuck?
This is what the sun emoji here actually symbolizes. An attempt to use one trans suicide for very large, many, and try to turn the entire LGBTQIA plus against one black trans woman. One who was in no way responsible for her death, Not one iota. The person who they're talking about is this person whose name begins with J. This person who bullied, harassed, and is laughing, tap dancing on the grave of this dead woman. Wild. I personally wouldn't have connections like this personally, but you know, maybe some people have different values. Here's these two interacting with each other. And if you go back through any of...
It would really suck to be a black guy with a small penis. What would be the point? PhD. Hammer and sickle flag. What the fuck? This is like something Chud Logic would say. As a joke. What the fuck?
Maybe some people have different values. Here's these two interacting with each other. And if you go back through any of these tweets, they love interacting with each other. They follow each other. They talk all the time. And this is what they have to say about dead trans women. But hey, listen, I'm the one who's transphobic. Here's them again confiding with somebody who personally laughed at the death of Eden. Maybe it's a me thing. Maybe it's all at the end of the day still just a me thing. Who knows? Who can tell anymore? Now, in response to this video, in response to this clip that was posted on Twitter, I tweeted, why do these people want to call me a house N-word hard R for disagreeing with them on like 2 drama cycles? They went full,
you tripping, bro. You tripping.
Off of this one. They didn't like this one, not one bit. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that, and let me show you exactly what happened. In response to this is what happened. This Tyrb person replied to me and said this, quote tweeted me, which is the most aggressive move that you can make on Twitter, mind you.
True.
Dog, I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt, but when the majority of black creators are calling out bigotry and you consistently side with the white ones, trying to be holier than thou in our spaces, there's a pattern, and you gotta do some introspection. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to be holier than thou. This is just who I am. I'm just this type of person. If I'm holier than thou to you, then you must be quite unholy. That's just a you problem. It has nothing to do with me. That being said, I'm not sure if I can say like the majority of black creators. You don't know the majority of black creators. I don't know the majority of black creators. You don't know the majority of black creators. Tyrb. And I don't know what he's even like trying to refer to here. Because for me personally, and I'm not even sure what this person is trying to say here, because he also sides with white people. Like, white people are on both sides of the argument. I don't know what he's talking about. I've never said that there isn't racism in the community that I'm in. I'm not in his community. His community is Breadtube. That's the community that he's in. I'm not in that community. I don't have anything to do with that community. I don't want anything to do with that community. I don't like it. I don't like the people that are in it. They just seem like horrible human beings. So I'm not engaged in that community. I'm in many different communities. That's just one that I'm not really in. The people who subscribe to that community just seem like mostly bad human beings who I don't want anything to do with, and I hope never try to speak to me again. I have most of them blocked, and I would like to keep that a thing. And then he went on to get on me about like criticizing his video, which is super strange because I didn't believe that I criticized his video. If you remember, I shouted out Tyrb when he made his video. He mentioned me in it, and I wanted to talk about tokenization because I felt like that'd be a great discussion. I listened to it back, and for some reason, he thought that I was just like completely destroying his video when I very clearly said, I'm not taking down this video. I think everybody here makes good content. I think you should. I
will say we are more than halfway through this video, chat. More than halfway through this video, and we still have not addressed the fact that a white woman wrote a cookbook about dumplings and noodles, okay? So that sheet of ice that Shark is skating over is getting so thin. Okay? Just keep an eye out, okay?
Watch the video, and I think he touched on really good points, and I agreed with a lot of the points that he made. He thinks that I was criticizing his video because I didn't agree with every single point, down to every single word that he said. That's why he thinks that I criticized the video. That's why he thinks that I didn't like him. That's why he thinks that I tried to insult him or something. Not because that I'm like, not because that we had some like core huge disagreement. It was because I had a slightly different disagreement, and pun not intended, if you're not whipped into line with these people, they will try to destroy you. They don't like you. They don't want you. They want you dead. Sometimes.
Whoa.
They'll laugh at you if you die. We just saw that. They're friends with people who laugh at trans women when they die. And I'm supposed to take these people seriously when they're sitting here telling me that I'm the bad guy here? Here's the thing. Almost none of them brought up any real points for why they dislike me. Or they didn't articulate it well at all. They would have gone through and read everything and showed everything and said everything if they thought that I was really that bad of a guy. They would have a lot of information to show, but they don't. I wonder why. That video that I made, it's a great video. I think it's a great video. Fantastic video, actually. I was very succinct. I was very clear. And I was very nice in that video. But that's not good enough for them. They don't want niceness. They don't want discussions. They don't want to cross the aisle. They want you to be in line with them or you are dead to them. That's how it is. After this occurred, this Tyrb person then went on to then went on to try to attack me in my own chat while I was streaming. Yes, really. I didn't see.
Wait. Why do I feel like I know that name? Turb. Has that person never been in my chat before? Maybe, I don't know.
The message, because the message was so vile that it got caught by Automod and then they got banned by a mod. That's how bad the message was. And then they got mad at me because I didn't look at their message. But I'm going to save the message that they said for a moment at the very end. I feel like it'll hit more then.
Okay.
Anyways, they tweeted effing sad, right? After they commented something incredibly vile, full of slurs into my Twitch chat. And then they got removed by the mods, and then he got banned by the mods. Somebody in the comment section then said, donate it, lol, and then said, did it go through? As he was trying to donate to me. As he was trying to donate to me, I saw that what they were trying to do, somebody sent me it, and I said, and I didn't want him to donate.
No, wait, we can't disturb the flow of Shark's video, okay? Shark's gonna show us, right?
To me. I don't want his money. I don't want any of their money. I don't want any of them to know anything about me. I wish they were all gone. Vanished from planet Earth. So I then responded with, do not donate to me. I don't want your money. I didn't see your message in chat. I don't know if you want to talk, but if you do, we can. That's all I said. In response to my very normal tweet, he then went on to say, set donations for the Cop City, for the Stop Cop City campaign in Atlanta, and guarantee $1,000 out of pocket, and maybe I'd give you the time of day. Which is so strange. This is him trying to take something out of FD's playbook. FD recently said that Destiny needs to donate $25,000 to Stop Cop City Atlanta, that campaign, in order for them to like have a discussion on stream. I don't know. I don't really have a huge opinion on like, you donate money here to me or something.
Imagine being so fucking entitled. Like, Jesus Christ. If you don't want to talk to someone, just say you don't want to talk to them. It's fine. No one's entitled to your time. Just be like, nah, don't want to talk. Not my thing. Oh, God. Did you see the clip of Dustin going full Giga Chat on Fnatic? I'll DM it to you if not. Fnatic. Do they still talk? I thought they didn't like each other. No, you can DM it to me, sure.
And maybe we'll talk. It just seems, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. I would just say donate it, you know. But if it gets donations to good places, then who really cares? I'm not going to be doing this. I don't want to talk to this person. I don't care about this person. I never will, and I never have, and never will. They said something to me, so I said, if you want to talk, we can. I wasn't even saying talk on stream. But he just took that as a huge insult for me saying if you wanted to talk, we could, and take it into private. Because I didn't have like a big like hate boner for him at the moment. And I still honestly don't. I don't have many feelings for him. He just seems like a shitty, stupid person, actually, at the end of the day. And
bam.
That's just kind of how it is. But on the $1,000 thing, I don't know how rich these people think I am. I'm not very rich. I'm not a very rich streamer. My channel doesn't make a crazy amount of money. My stream also doesn't make a crazy amount of money. I'm not a crazy rich person. I give every single dollar of my I give every single dollar of my YouTube money to my editors so they can keep editing full time for me and in the channel. I don't know if they see like the huge, beautiful, mind you, manga collection that I have back here and think that I'm filthy rich, but it's something that maybe in their homes they never grew up with. It's called responsible financial planning. I set aside some money a week on things that I want to buy. And then after those couple of weeks, When I have the money all saved up, that's when I buy the thing.
Okay, this video is not as much spice as I was hoping for. Hopefully he drops stuff in later on, but god damn it. We're waiting. What is this?
It's just boom, boom, boom. It's super easy. Wait, what are you doing in here?
Let me see. What's that?
What are you doing in here?
I wanted to talk to you about some of the things that you were just saying recently in one of your videos. Someone linked it to me.
Shit. You know what? You should buy a rope. Bye. Boom. Ban. Get the fuck out of my Discord, you fucking loser. And
oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's rough. Oh god. Yeah, I knew they didn't like each other, did I? I think it's because Fnatic will talk to Destiny and have arguments and then later make videos about why Destiny's racist or something. I think that's why they don't get along. Jesus Christ.
It's just called budgeting. You may not know anything about it, but you can buy things and nice things, just not instantly. Maybe you should look into it sometime. Could be helpful. After that, I responded in saying, I don't really want to talk to you. You reached out to me, so if you want to talk, we can. But I'm not itching to speak to you in any way. I was just being nice by responding to your message, partner. He then tried to say, I didn't reach out. I criticize you for taking anti-black positions against black femmes constantly. I don't know what he means, but we'll try and get into it. I never have reached out to you. If you want to reach out to me, I stated my terms, Uncle Ruckus. So strange. So strange. But then I said, you sent a message in my stream that you wanted me to read. That is the definition of reaching out, but okay, partner. So here's the screenshot and here's the message that he said to me. This is the message that he tweeted out after he sent it to me. He said, this is Tyerb. The fact that you hide behind your platform to deter from the point of your massage noir that he misspelled is insane. Stay in your circle jerk of white leftists. You're pitiful. I hope you're happy with your coon ass self. FR,
shit.
Period. The fact that you can't show a shred of sympathy for any black women, yet critique my video with some form of self-extrapolation is wild. Also, at that point in time when he was sending that message, I was working, unlike him, apparently. I wasn't hiding. I was working. I was doing work. I was at my job. I was making segments and
They remind me so much of Groypers. Do they not? Do they not just sound so much? The way they behave, the way that they use slurs, the way that they deny that their slurs are slurs, the way they attack people. There's an energy there that's so Groyper-like. Like fuck me. Oh god. Apart from it's slightly more insidious because Groypers know they're being shit, and the whole Groyper ethos is the more of a racist cunt you are, the better, right? But with this group, it's like it's all through a sense of like righteousness, you know, like it's righteous indignation going behind. Oh god. Oh yeah, Groypers have systemic power, so it's different. Yeah, true. True.
Interacting with my community. I'm sorry, whenever random internet user 445 has a problem with me, I don't stop literally everything that I do on planet Earth to go deal with it until
it's also just that they weaponize people's sensibilities. Like they weaponize progressive sensibilities so much, like. Because as a progressive content creator or a progressive online, of course you don't want to get called racist, right? Like, or you don't want to get called anti-trans, or you don't want to be called like the person who ignores black issues or the person who's like silencing black vote. Like those are really strong charges, you know? It's a really shitty thing to get accused of, especially when when the evidence for it is so thin. But it works, doesn't it? Because when people are picking a side, they don't want to side with the person who's silencing black voices, and it's just safer to go with the side that can claim more fucking id poll points and shit. Like, oh god, yeah, you don't want to be a genocide denier, sure, yeah. Oh god. Yeah, it's like insane cry bullying. can you imagine being a cry bully, but like you just have so much of you're in a space where there's just so much like bias in your favor, you know? Oh God. Like in a progressive space where the bias is actually in your favor. Yeah, fuck.
It's completely done. I am working. And so, no, I didn't respond to you. I was at my job. Maybe you should try and get one someday. Now, I just don't get how he's getting the idea that I critiqued his video. In my video, I literally just said that I think that I want more black people to be in the space and I want more black people to do things that I'm doing as well. And I think that these people make good content. I just think that we get pigeonholed into talking about black issues when we don't necessarily always want to. And people compartmentalize normal creators and learning creators, and they just take a detour at, like I said, Negro land to go hear what like black people, women, trans people, minorities, all these types of people want to say, gay people, queer people, you know, anything along these lines. They stop by to see what we have to say, but we're not the destination. We're just here to be the black voice so they can say that, oh, I have like a black creator who does black things and I listen to them and they're my learning creators, not my fun creators, not my normal creators. They're not in the normal community. They're different. They're otherized. They're not just a creator. They're an insert identity creator. That's what I was saying in the video. I guess he just didn't care. And you can watch the video yourself. I think it was a very good video. Just none of them cared. They just don't care when I have good things to say. They only latch on to they just latch on to whenever I just slightly disagree with them, but they never want to say that I've done anything good or even agreed with them at any point in time because they don't care. I don't agree 100% on literally every issue that's in their mind and kowtow and bend the knee to everything that they have to say unquestioningly, without thinking, without putting my own thoughts into it, without coming to my own
Thanks, Hart. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that.
Conclusion without anything. They don't care.
Look at that bar. Look at that bar. We got the reset bar there. I mean, it didn't reset it at all. It's just it's where we are today. You know, we need to got a long way to go, but thanks for getting us started. Let's go.
They don't want it. They don't like it. Thinking is bad for them. And so for the people who do it, they hate. And I don't want to say this as a sort of I'm a free thinker. I'm the only free thinker. I'm not sure what a free thinker really is. Everybody's influenced by somebody. Everybody's influenced by somebody. And we all have boundaries for who we talk to and what they believe and what they say. I'm just saying that it seems like these people don't really care about how big our differences are. If we have differences, you're the enemy, period. No matter what they are, no matter how big or small they really are.
Pretty small,
and
right?
That's just what I've been dealing with. After this, my correspondence with all of these people basically ended. I blocked near all of them, or just about near all of them, as I thought. I blocked about 1,400 people, and I'm going to be blocking a couple hundred more people as this goes on. I don't really want to talk about this outside of this video, but I'm going to be blocking a large portion of people. At the end, I may add an extra 4,000 people. They're just horrible human beings, and I don't want anything to do with any of them ever again. I hope they... Now, with this being said, I want to move on to some other people, okay? Joe Lewis. I talked about Joe Lewis. I used to follow Joe Lewis. I used to raid Joe Lewis every now and again when we were streaming at the same time. I thought he was pretty all right. We have some disagreements, but that's fine. I don't really care that much. Apparently, he cares a lot on some disagreements that we have. And he said specifically that I'm anti-black and I hate black people and everything. And I'm a bad person and I'm bad for black people and I'm a shitty person and everything. The reason for why he said this is because Mr. Anti-race mixing himself, Mr. Anti-miscegenation himself, Mr. You shouldn't have babies with white people.
It's MF endless, isn't it? It's endless. To be fair, I've watched a bit of that guy and I'm thinking, if you are actually just if you are that level of boring cunt, like, you kind of have no choice but to say insanely weird shit about race mixing to get attention, right? Because otherwise, who the fuck would listen to you? The guy is so boring.
Because that is diluting the dark-skinned black race and will be propping up white supremacy or whatever, but don't take my word for it. Take his word for it.
Whoa.
I know I have a lot of frogs who haven't seen this debate or discussion before, but I want to make it known that it is very important to me that we all know about this, because this is a pretty bad guy that a lot of these people are connected with again. And so here's what they said. They tweeted out, it's been almost a year since my conversation with Shark3ozero, he added me, correctly this time. they're getting smarter. And I still can't believe that this is something that actually happened. So let's go into what he thinks actually happened. But before we go too far, two like questions, okay? And then I'll answer all your questions.
Sure.
If I were to make a tweet, okay? Because yeah, I grew up in New York, I grew in Missouri, in St. Louis, and I grew up in Kentucky. Not exactly, because I don't have to dox myself. Yeah. But with that being said, in a lot of the areas I've been around a lot of white people. And when I go to like Atlanta, Georgia or something, or I go to like North Carolina, we visit some family and they live in what I can only describe. Here's how I'll describe it. It's like when I go to see them, it's like what's his name? I was gonna say Kevin Samuels. That's not right. Kendrick Lamar is like the Pimp a Butterfly sort of like album cover, but in real life. Okay, there's like a Church's Chicken, and then there's like a lot of like poor infrastructure.
Yeah, the album covers. It's me and my homeboys in front of the White House. It's really taking, people from my neighborhood and taking them around the world and letting them see things that I've experienced.
And then there's like kids riding on beat up BMX bikes, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to walk the streets after the street lights come on. Okay, and that's why I go visit some family every now and again. If I were to make a tweet and it was like, let's take a picture, okay? I'm just describing to you the picture. These are not words that I'm saying. Okay. It's a picture of like stereotypical. Everyone's dressed.
I love it how he's constantly saying like, hypothetically, if I said this, and this fucking endless guy is so fucking brain damaged that he just like thought this clip would paint Shark in a bad light, when Shark is literally characterizing another position and saying he's doing it in the clip. It just goes to show you, like, I used to be a bit more careful with what I say when I'm talking to people or when I'm streaming and all that, but actually there's no point, because you can literally say, let's say I said this thing, then say a thing, and then they'll post the clip as if the thing is your genuine opinion. And people believe it. Like, when you're engaging with that level of fucking, with that, like, subatomic level IQ, you just, okay. You might as well just say whatever at that point,
As like early 2000s Soulja Boy.
So it's
okay. Hood. Sure, they look like they're in saggy pants. They bumping in they lowrider, and I go, man, I'm so glad I didn't grow up like these people, and I want to make sure that my family never ends up like.
Look at him. He's saying, let's say I said this. The guy's so fucking dumb. I think he genuinely believes it as well. I think he's so happy to hear like his stereotype of like an Uncle Tom talking that he's just like, I'm going with this. I don't care. Like the fucking like confirmation bias or whatever the fuck, yeah.
My bloodline never ends up like this. This is insane. Would you feel the same exact way you feel about that tweet as you would if I made that hypothetical tweet?
No.
Originally listening back to this, I'm going to tell you, I genuinely couldn't figure out.
Fucking dumb cunt, man. He even included the bit where he said, if I said that hypothetically. Oh my God.
What the problem was. I genuinely couldn't. I just couldn't figure it out. I had no clue what problem people had in this. I still, to this very day, I'm not necessarily sure. But what I think is that these people genuinely believe that I hate black people and I hate hood people, and I think that they should be like wiped off the face of the earth or killed or something along these lines. Right? Which is just super weird and dumb. Even in that clip, I said specifically, if I were to tweet, and if I said, and this is a picture that I'm showing you hypothetically, but not words that I'm saying. And they ran with that and just thought that was, and this is what kind of proved to me that these people are either stupid or just don't care.
Wait a minute. Did you just say these people? Shark3ozero. Did you say these people? Nels D, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate that.
What I have to say, and they're just going to hear whatever they want to hear, is when they ran with this and said that I hate black people. Even in this comment section of when he posted this, they all were like, "You hate black people? I didn't know Shark hates I didn't know Shark hates the niggas," which is just so weird. It's just so strange. When I made a very clear point about how these two tweets, mind you, and this whole discussion was about whether or not it's okay for black people to tell other happy black people that are in interracial marriages, whether it's okay or not okay to laugh at, demean, harass, and say that this person is a race traitor and diluting the black bloodline by being married to somebody who's a couple shades lighter than him. That's what this whole discussion revolves around. As you can even see in the video where he has my tweet up, I never want my bloodline to end up like this. That's insane. And then I say these black people grow up in broken homes to parents that never wanted them.
Oh, it was this tweet. 2 generations and the melanin gone from that bloodline. Is that the tweet? This tweet was so weird.
Then unfortunately make it to an age old enough to tweet just to hate on people being in a happy family that they never experienced. This is fatherless behavior and jealousy, which I 100% stand by.
Whoa.
True and real. I'm sorry. If you don't like it, then you're probably one of those kids. I will say, people could possibly use this for racist things. Yeah, 100%. I believe that this could possibly touch on some harmful traits, harmful ideas. I think anytime you insult somebody for anything, they can. We're talking about black.
The thing I never understood about the whole, if you race mix, you're reducing the black population, because I guess if you're like half black, like if your mom's white and your dad's black, you're not black anymore. Although I don't think that actually works. But anyway, if you're like reducing the black population, are you not reducing the white population as well? Is it not just completely morally neutral?
People here. And I just think it is wild. I don't want my bloodline to end up like this tweeter. I don't want my bloodline to end up like this 30-year-old man who spends his time getting arguments with like 17-year-olds on the Bird app. Okay? That's how I don't want my bloodline to end up. I very clearly stated how those aren't words that I was...
Well, yeah, that's what great replacement people think. Great replacement people think that race mixing is reducing the number of white people. Yeah, that's what they think. They think that's the white genocide. Yeah, they do think that, actually. It's the fucking handshake meme or whatever the fuck.
Saying specifically, but he still just didn't care. I just think it's bad and wrong to say that it's bad and wrong to harass, demean, say these things about people who are in happy relationships with people who are lighter than them. Just as I think it's bad and wrong to say, I don't want my bloodline to end up like this.
It's for... No, it is not 1488 noir. No, that's wrong. Don't do that. Sorry. Oh my god. We're getting too close to the Blittler territory now. Oh shit.
When we're talking about people from like the hood or something, right? I just think it's super fucked up. I think it's super, super duper fucked up on both regards and equally as well. This dude literally unironically went on to say that like...
Great replace noir. Geno, oh my god. It's so bad. Fucking hell. We're almost done. All right.
Hood and black were completely inseparable, and hood culture is black culture or something. And black people actually love the hood, which is, I just don't know what to do with.
Stop.
I just don't know what to do with these people. I don't know what to do with these people. What do I do? With that being said, I want to touch on one last thing in regards to this guy, Mr. Anti-Miscegenation Guy. And this is why I call him Mr. Anti-Miscegenation Guy, okay? Because he came at me and said all of this stuff about me. So I'm going to come back at him and show him exactly what he said in our discussion. And I just think it's just super curious. Just listen to this. For the frogs who didn't see the discussion, I think this is going to be super enlightening for you.
Uh-oh.
Wait, let me ask this question. I want to switch it around. Do you think that if you specifically have dark-skinned children, are you fighting back against white supremacy?
Yes, because you're procreating more dark-skinned people.
So
you're doing the opposite of what
when you make more dark-skinned people, you're fighting against white supremacy. But when you make more light-skinned people, you're not helping white supremacy.
Because those kids are still black.
But you said, well, dark skin is what was the important part for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this question here, I wanted to highlight.
It's just such a fucking stupid way. Like, why is that your political engagement? Just coming up with this little fucking chart of how it works with like the How will my breeding choices affect that? What the fucking stupid political engagement? Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the goal of white supremacy has always been to allow what? White people to make babies with black people. That's always been the goal of white supremacy. Holy shit. Hey, there's you in chat, Tequila. I can see you there. Look at this. See there? There's a little Tequila Sunset, LeMayo.
Just for a moment. I specifically said dark skin is what you actually care about, and he agreed, right? Because earlier in the discussion, I talked about how even though your kids are lighter, they're still black. He corrected me and said, I don't care about them being black. What I care about is them being dark skin. And so he was flip-flopping back and forth on whether or not black is what really mattered or whether or not dark skin was what really mattered. And so that's how to dodge this point that he was making, to dodge this point that I was making and trying to reveal in him, he tried to jump out of the way and say, but they're still black, but black is not what he cared about. It was dark skin. And that's why he agreed. Okay, so then
Endless being dishonest?
Dark skin, would they be? The likelihood would be low.
Between a black person and a white person?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, but the kid would still be black at the end of the day.
Okay, so once again, you're telling me you would be fighting against white supremacy to have dark-skinned children, but you would not be helping white supremacy when you have light-skinned children.
Black people having children at all is fighting against white supremacy.
Are you not helping as much? Are you helping less, or are you hurting more than somebody having dark-skinned children?
Okay, so in terms of black people, you're not really, it's like neutral, because if you're a black person, your kids are going to be black. That's what blackness is.
But we're talking about dark skin here.
Okay, so if we're talking about dark skinned people on an individual basis, it's kind of inconsequential. But yeah, if you, as a whole, as a group, if the majority of dark skinned people decided that they wanted to have kids with lighter skinned people for whatever reason, then that would be the completion of the goal of white supremacy, whether they were conscious of it or not.
If dark skinned black people had children with white people, and so in the future, all black people were just a couple shades lighter than what they are now, that would be the completion of the goal of white supremacy for whatever reason. In this discussion, I was trying to actually be nice to him. I was trying to give him an out by saying that, hey, you don't even necessarily have to be completely.
Good Lord, this is like straight up eugenics law. We're going straight back to the 30s. Bluegenics. Sorry. Oh, God.
Peel off this point because I gave him the out of saying, well, it matters why things happen.
Eugenoir.
As well. And sometimes it can matter more why things happen more than if things happen at all. Because I was saying, I made another hypothetical that he just couldn't possibly understand, which was that we were talking about whether or not like it would be okay or would it matter if there were more or less dark-skinned people in the future. My position is that it doesn't matter if it happens for a natural, normal, and okay reason, which would just be that all of the black people just happen to fall in love with people who are lighter than them, and then they had lighter-skinned children. Just end of story. I don't really think it matters. He disagreed. He thought it mattered a lot. He thought it mattered a bunch. He thought it was everything. Actually, he thought it mattered so much that if you were married to a light-skinned person as a dark-skinned person, and you were about to have a child, and your mom or grandma or aunt or something was racist against mixed children or lighter-skinned children, and would harass, bully, be bigoted towards that child, he said that the only ethical thing to do would be to break up with your partner, and then not have that kid. Because you shouldn't bring them into a world where their family is going to be racist towards them. I said, cut the racist person out of their family. He said that's disgusting and wrong and unfair to the kid. So just don't have them. And for my performance in this discussion, I'm a racist against black people. For that belief that he's wrong in this discussion, I'm anti-black people. Out of all of that, there was another person as well who tried.
Lonerbox, if you had to choose between white, black, Hispanic, Arab, Asian, or Jewish supremacy, which would you theoretically pick? What's your what's your favorite racism? Okay. You know what? You know what? I'm doing it. Okay, fuck it. You guys want to ask the hard hairs? You guys want to know the real facts? I'm going with the Arabs, right? That's it. Because everyone else is fucked. None of you guys, nah. I don't know if you guys have seen how committed Arabs are to their supremacy, to their fucking political goals, okay? Yeah, I'm just going back. I'm just going to my bloodline, you know? Yeah, I'm joining the Arabs. Everyone else is fucked. Maybe the Albanians, they can join. Hezbollah Noir.
To come at me, he was like, there was another person, I think the last person that we're going to be talking about today. He tried to come at me and say that I'm a horrible person. Boy, he calling me, wow, calling a black person boy.
Jesus
Curious,
Christ.
is it not? Boy, that hard R definitely was a choice. And then I said, that's literally what they're saying about me. Then he said, nigga, you've been spending too much time around Vouch and them because you wouldn't know there's a big difference between nigga and hard R. Ain't nobody call you N-word hard R. Probably them debate homies of yours. Stop this cap and come home. We miss you. I never want to be anywhere near you people. You all are horrible human beings. I never want to be anything like you. And the more deviation that you perceive that's between me and you, the better I think I am as a human being fundamentally. And apparently the hard R, apparently I don't have the hard R pass. I can't use the hard R, even though that's literally exactly what they're all calling me. What he called me specifically, he literally called me that. And proof of it is right here. I think probably one of the last big, just like interpersonal things that have happened over the last 2 weeks. And it's this. Jesse Earl, or Jesse Gender, a transgendered YouTuber, white, mind you, responded with this to say, debate Twitter right now, and then posted a movie of, I've been informed, is Django with a house slave or something clutching onto a presumably slave owner. And I'm supposed to be the slave, and Vosh is supposed to be the slave owner. This is Jesse specifically liking a picture of me depicted as a slave because I disagreed with some of the people who she thinks are cool. The white sheep feeding shark to the wolves after this person called them out on they shit. Who these people are, I guess. Now, for me personally, I deleted some tweets before, going after some people, you know, sniping back at people who were insane, because I actually care about some of the things that I say. The reason why is because, you know, even if I didn't want to delete that tweet, I deleted the tweet mostly because I didn't want to give the white people in my audience basically a free card to call a black person like a slur or something. That's the main reason why I didn't do it. Actually, for this reason specifically is why I deleted some of those tweets, some of the tweets that they didn't like, that I all stand by, mind you. One of the big tweets that they're really upset about was me calling this girl a negress. This is one of these people who are once again attacking Eden and her friends and making fun of them and using the opportunity of a dead trans woman from the Middle East, using her death as a cudgel against people who they don't like. Honestly, I was in between calling her a negress and a negarita. I really wanted to go with Negarita. It was really good, but I went with Negress at the end of the day. I think next time I'm in a kerfuffle with these people, I think I'll pull out the Negarita. It's pretty funny, actually. But yeah, sorry. It's just a funny word, and I'm going to keep saying it. Fuck you. How about that? You want to call me a coon? You want to call me Uncle Ruckus? You want to call me this, that, and the third? You want to call me a house N-word? There are many people who came out of the woodwork to sit here and agree with all of these people who are incredibly disgusting towards me, FD included. Only stick his neck out for Jesse Gender when I said that she's literally using this as an opportunity to call me a house N-word. But
Vosh watching this saying, God, I wish I was black. I did a video on The Boys and said Starlight is the ideal ally because she consistently uses her privilege to dismantle frameworks that enable it in the first place. Jessie Gender is IRL Starlight. If you have a problem with her, kindly eat bag of donkey dicks and die. I cannot sorry, he's an academic. I cannot co-sign this enough. Recognize that 95% of the folks trying to slander Jessie Gender as racist are white people. It's pretty fucking hilarious, really. Wait, okay. I mean, it's left-wing fucking internet. Everyone's white, okay? Pretty much 95% of people in all directions are fucking white, okay?
They all thought not only was it okay, but it was also funny. In FD's words specifically, he thought that it was hilarious. And so if I'm going to be hello, pup. Nice to see you. I guess to wrap things up, mostly, if they want to act funny, I'm gonna act hilarious. If she wanna act funny, I'm finna act hilarious.
F-bombs. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that.
I think they're horrible human beings, and I want literally nothing to do with them. Even in the Innuendo Studios, the channel themselves even came out to try and to co-sign calling me a house N-word because he just thought it would be funny because Jessie Gender can do no wrong. So if she calls me a house N-word, then I must be a house N-word because them and their clique can do no wrong, and they're just not wrong.
Is Funna AAVE? Is that true? Wait, I've never heard that before. Saying Funna instead of gonna. Is that AAVE? Are you fucking gaslighting me? It is. Okay, Jesus Christ. Well, there you go. Listen, I tend to stay out of race issues because I'm Scottish, where there are no black people. I'm also half Lebanese, where there are also no black people. So, you know, I am in fact mostly a white person. But I will say, fuck me, the way that, like, especially watching that Soul Bunny video, the way a lot of these YouTubers talk about fucking racism and how it expresses itself. Like, growing up in like post 9/11 United Kingdom and 7/7 and shit with a Middle Eastern name and a Middle Eastern family, like, I experienced a good bit of racism, and the way that people like Soul Bunny and all that were talking about racism, I just don't fucking get it. Like, I feel like there's so much more you could talk about with racial experiences than Shark took someone's side in an argument about sexting with Cat Black, and fucking a white woman wrote a cookbook about dumplings and noodle. I'm like, what the fuck? Is this really like... And I know for a fact that this is not like the epitome of the black experience in America. This is like some weird online shit. But fuck me. Like, I don't know. Is there not like more discourse to? But the problem is that like the actual discourse with fucking that would actually be things that people like Shark and Soulbite and all that would all agree on, right? Over policing, too many like unnecessary interactions between police and black people, stop and search, fucking routine traffic stops, mandatory minimums in the criminal justice system, biases when it comes to sentencing. These are all things that you can talk. Fucking employment bias based on whether like, your name sounds more fucking ethnic or not. Like, there are all these things you can talk about. The fucking leftovers of redlining that still to some degree happens today. You can talk about all these things, but the problem is we can't infight as leftists when we talk about that. You know, we can't do that. We can't shit on people who are slightly less left-wing than us and call them fucking Uncle Toms and C words, whatever the fuck else, Uncle Ruckus, because that's just, we can't do that. It's not as fun, you know? We have to have the hard-hitting discussions about... We have to, and I can't police the discourse. No, that's true. We have to talk about how a white woman wrote a cookbook and how they used Say Her Name for a dead 16-year-old murdered trans girl who was white. And we have to debate the ethics of deporting all the white people from South Africa and how many generations removed you need to be to still have the moral value of a colonizer. Sorry, I know. But no one would have any content if we had discussions like that, would we? We wouldn't have it. Fuck me. Anyway, come on, liberals, let's go. That take was brought to you by Liberal Incorporated. Hillary.
And so
Partial pressure. Thanks for the 500
I didn't know
bits.
Lola Box was a Nazi.
if I'm a house, so if I'm a house N-word to one of them, I'm a house N-word to all of them. And that's just how they operate. And I don't want anything to do with any of these people. I'm going to use this now to cut off all of these people. I've blocked the vast majority of them. I'm going to continue blocking them moving into the future. I think they're terrible. I want nothing to do with them. I don't want to speak to them. I want nothing with them. This is not an apology video. This is an explanation about how you don't deserve your money, your clout, your platform, your viewers, who you are. You don't deserve any of this, and you don't deserve any respect from me. And so that's why you won't be getting it. I'm sick and tired of you people, and I've been way nicer to all of these people
Don't
than
forget liberal.
any single last one of them deserve. I've been nicer, kinder, more patient with every single last one of them, more than they ever deserve. And so with that, I'm done. I'm relatively quiet on a lot of this, and even days after it was released, I didn't release, after all of this stuff was coming out, I didn't say anything. I'm not wildly on Twitter like a lot of these people, like sycophant, posting 17 times an hour all day. I've got things to do in my day. I've got segments to make. They release videos like once every 10 months or something, so obviously their schedules are pretty...
They really do, don't they? These channels are so sparse. I cannot believe that DJ Mule was a full-time YouTuber. What the actual cock was he doing in all that time? These two videos were 8 months apart. 5 videos in a year. One of them was 20 minutes long. He streams. What was his stream schedule like? Oh, okay. He really invested into this. He really invested into the 180 sub stream channel, didn't he? Jesus Christ. Apartheid. These are full streams. Okay. No, but they're thumbnailed and everything, so. Do you think South Africa land reform without compensation? No, it's expropriation without compensation. Land reform is what I would advocate for. That was like kind of what Mandela initially aimed for, but the ANC never really got there. I think Mandela wanted to make sure that it was like by the year 2000, I think, or 2005 or something, he wanted it to be like 30% of the land would be owned by Black South Africans, but I think now it's only like 20 something. Like they have the infrastructure and the constitution that would allow them to do it. They just don't. There hasn't been a very good faith effort in doing it. The expropriation thing is insanely dumb. It's real. You have to acknowledge that, first of all, that land is not going to just like regular Black South Africans. It would go to the government because that's what the EFF wants. The second thing is South Africa depends a lot on foreign investment. Like it's a very international economy. If you have international investment and you have just expropriated a bunch of people without compensation, you're going to lose a lot of faith in foreign investment, like very quickly, if you're behaving like that. So yeah, fuck. No, it's not the difference, but the difference is that it's expropriation without compensation. And the other thing is just land reform. Land reform involves compensation. Land reform would be like, we're going to make an effort to transfer land over if it doesn't live up to certain set standards. So we have that in the UK as well. Like if we want to, in Scotland, if they want to start redistributing land that's owned by the old aristocracy, they just set a standard that's like, if this land isn't being productive or isn't meeting these environmental guidelines or isn't meeting these labor laws, then we just take it away and compensate you for it. Like it's almost kind of like an extension of a compulsory purchase, which is what Mandela and the ANC initially aimed to do in South Africa. They just were never that successful at it. But they have been able to do it to some degree. But people are getting really frustrated with it, and what they want to do instead is to just seize it instead, just like the government sees it. But if you think the South African government, the way that it operates, is going to be competent enough to seize all that land and put it in the hands of the government and use it efficiently, you're delusional. I don't know. Like a lot of corruption in South Africa, and handing a bunch of land over from like Boer farmers to the government is like, it's not going to achieve anything.
pretty empty. You know, that's just kind of is what it is. And I just wanted to let you all know what's been going on with me kind of behind the scenes. Like I said, I'm fine. I'll be okay. I just wanted to get this out there because they're going to continue lying about me. They're going to continue using slurs against me. They're going to continue saying this or that against me. They're going to be doing all of this type of stuff. So I just wanted to let this out here and let this sit here as like a form of me being like, here's my opinion on all of this stuff.
Better to have ANC politicians coping for every time to kill Boer. No, wait, they're not doing. I thought it was the EFF politicians saying that. Are the ANC saying that as well? I thought the ANC were the more like they're corrupt, but they're the more like center left ones, aren't they? I thought it was the EFF who do the kill Boer chant, isn't it?
Because I'm a pretty quiet person, and the problem with being a quiet person
I could be wrong.
is that there are a lot of people who want to speak for you. And there's a lot of people who've been trying to stand up for me, and I really respect that, and I really appreciate that. The problem is you're not me, and some of them were trying to speak for me before I spoke myself, and I want to say that I don't want to have them do that and then have my words be twisted to ways that I may not agree with or something. So I just wanted to let this out now. And I'm just sick of them. I'm sick and tired of them. They're terrible human beings. I've been nicer than they deserve. And I would say that I don't want anything to do with any of these people for the rest of time. And with that being said, shout out to Soul King at Soul King Lives. This is where I got this sick My Hero Macadamia Nut shirt with Tomura Shigaraki on it. If you are wondering where it came from, a sick black streetwear and anime based artist and clothes designer who puts together some really cool stuff. So if you're a big anime fan, go check him out. He's a cool guy. Thank you so much to my artists on the channel, Twisty, Sad Lil Gothy on the Bird app.
Okay, that was a good video. It was funny.